Of today's special election are in, and voters in Orleans and St. Bernard parishes are electing new state legislators tonight. In a runoff, 64% of voters choosing Sidney Bartholomew II as state senator for District 3, representing parts of Orleans and St. Bernard parishes. Bartholomew takes over for Joseph Bowie, who stepped away from the Senate to accept the chancellor's position at Southern University, New Orleans. Bartholomew is a construction company owner who says working families deserve stronger schools, better economic opportunities, more affordable housing, and leaders who will fight for them every single day. And in the House of Representatives, Dana Henry will represent Eastern New Orleans for State District 100. That seat opening up after Jason Hughes was elected to the New Orleans City Council. Henry earning the majority of the vote with plans to expand women's health care and prioritizing a fully functional New Orleans East Hospital. Now, parties in both districts will remain the same, with 2 Democrats elected today. Republicans continue to hold a supermajority in both chambers.